Hi, I'm Dahl, and I'm the co-president of the International Federation of Gay Games. I'm recording this message to thank everyone involved in the discussions between FGG and GLISA International to produce a single quadrennial LGBT sport and cultural festival in 2018. Our goal was to produce one event every 4 years, bringing together the Gay Games and the World Out Games. This was a big project. Even though we didn't reach our goal, we accomplished a great deal. And so I want to thank some of the people and organizations for their contributions and support. I've written this down so I don't forget what I wanted to say. First, to Pride Sports and the EGLSF. It was at the EGLSF annual meeting in Manchester back in March 2010 that my fellow co-president, Emmy Ritz, and I were able to make first contact with our counterparts from GLISA International and imagine that we could achieve the goal of a single event. I want to thank the FGG Assembly for giving the FGG Board the mission of pursuing this goal at our 2010 meeting in Cologne and for confirming its mission last year in Toronto. To reach this goal, we set up a joint working group with GLISA. The FGG selected its members of this group by calling on people from around the world to nominate themselves. We thank the dozens of candidates who expressed their interest in being part of this work. From these candidates, the FGG voted to choose Martin Pickup from Berlin, Paul Usenbrug from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Kelly Stevens from Seattle, John Baldwin from Sydney, and Leanne Naidoo from South Africa. I want to give special thanks to Leanne. She's a former Olympic athlete and a dedicated Gay Games ambassador. She brought her passion and commitment to human rights to our team, and we are thankful for everything she does for the Gay Games. I also want to thank our member organizations and the entire LGBT sport and culture community who have called for a single event and who followed with interest this 2-year process. I want to thank the FGG Board of Directors. Despite very strong held positions, including opposition to any negotiation with GLISA, our board members managed to find a balance between the defense of the interests of the FGG and the Gay Games and the goal of a single event. At each key step, they moved this project forward. And of course, I need to thank my co-president, Emmy Ritz, who took the lead on this issue and whose dedication to the future of LGBT sport I admire. I am personally disappointed that we did not reach our goal. Along with many others, I devoted a great deal of energy to this project while continuing to work on the main focus of the FGG, the success of Gay Games 9 in Cleveland+Akron, and of course doing my day job. And I couldn't end my thanks without those to my husband Jeff, who has ever showed unbelievable patience for the time and effort that I've invested in the Gay Games movement. Although we didn't achieve our goal, I do not regret our efforts. We came to an agreement on difficult issues such as the division of voting rights, governance for site selection and host relations, the time and place for the joint site selection meeting, and even the name of the event. We gained trust and mutual understanding of the missions and operations of each group. Despite agreement, the outstanding issues were significant. Otherwise, a full agreement would have been reached. As we've said elsewhere, we were primarily concerned about the financial burden placed on our future host and about the procedure for voting for this host. The FGG has a long practice of a competitive bidding process. We select our host during an in-person meeting over several days. We think that for the most important job we do, it's important to be in the same room to learn, discuss, and question. And at the end of the final weekend of discussion, we had not reached an agreement on these points. GLISA, as agreed to at the beginning of the meeting, issued a press release that the FGG and the GLISA could not come to an agreement. We regretted that this press release was released, and we felt that there was still a chance for an agreement. But after the additional period that we had requested, the issues remained, and even we had recognized that agreement was impossible for now. We know how many people wanted a single event. This seems an easy goal to reach for people outside of our organization, but trust me, this effort has been far from simple. There has been large issues to address at every turn, and some of them just could not be worked out, at least not in time for 2018. We hope to build on our relations created during this 2-year process. There are many areas where the FGG and GLISA can work together, and we remain convinced that the real solution to reach the goal of a single event is by a merger of the two organizations. That's a realization that we probably would not have come to had we not gone through these last 2 years. But for now, we need to think about our own event in 2018. We've opened up the bidding process for Gay Games 10. We already know of many groups eager to host the Gay Games. If your group wants to bring a large international sport and cultural festival open to your city, feel free to request informational document. That's the first step in a process that will conclude with the choice of the host of Gay Games 10 in 2013 in Cleveland, which is the host of Gay Games 9 in 2014. The FGG and our host committee, Cleveland Special Events Corporation, look forward to welcoming athletes and artists from around the world to Cleveland and Akron for just 2 years from now. And I'm pleased to take this opportunity to announce that the first phase of registration is now open. For more information, you can learn at www.gaygang9cleveland.com. This is the 30th anniversary of the Gay Games that changed the world. Since 1982, every 4 years, the Gay Games unite our worldwide community to share a message of hope, a call for equality, and a week of sports and celebration in the spirit of participation, inclusion, and personal best. See you all in Cleveland in 2014.